general wizard. Spells.
Hello, all of you patient mad chatters. Good to see William. All of you, like, look at that pack.
So,
the whole chat's already blowing up with people that just got here. Now we're just getting live. And go ahead.
I had not had a backup character for this particular campaign until I started thinking after Eamon died, and I was like, I should probably have something in mind. So I have an idea for a backup character just in case something horrible happens.
Not this stream, though.
Not today. I'm just saying in general. I have.
They can hear you. They cannot yet see you.
Yes.
And you can't hear us, right? Terry, I see Pat.
Hi, friends.
Hello, yeah.
Robert,
TPK tonight, Maya Morfast?
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, chilling out for it has not been an hour yet. Well, I guess you came in early, but thank you, Pat.
Huzzah.
We solved the technical difficulties.
Well,
as much as possible.
We cobbled together a temporary solution. We still are missing a cable we need for our main
I haven't
cam.
seen the sword in person. That's awesome.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I haven't either.
I've seen it on the cam.
Because I left, I think, before you bought that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool.
Is it resemblance of the sword of, in which Lord of the Rings sword is that one?
So you're talking about Aragorn's,
What's it called?
the Blade of Isildur,
there's a name for it.
Yeah. No, I don't think so per se. Although
The pommel does look similar.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying.
Also, I had a very proud parent moment the other day. Esther asked if we could watch Lord of the Rings.
Hey.
Yes! Great for every toddler.
I believe we watched it since she was 4. So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We basically just watched through Bilbo's birthday. And where he disappeared. It didn't keep her attention the full time.
His 11th birthday.
I don't like half of you as well as I should, and more than half of you I don't like as well as you think. Whatever he said.
As well as you deserve, yeah.
The cartoons. What was the title?
Oh yeah.
From the
original Hobbit, you mean?
70s.
Yeah. It's really good.
I've seen
I do know what you're talking about.
the Hobbit cartoon from the 70s, but I remember like looking at part of the Lord of the Rings one and getting really freaked out because the art for that one is really dark.
Yeah, there's a lot of different interpretations of Lord of the Rings.
Are you talking about the one that's sort of heavy metal based? Yeah, I caught that when I was a kid and watched it, and it was like, ooh, this is not what I remembered.
No. But I remember really loving the animated Hobbit movie as a kid.
All right, so we're going to kick this off with live video in a second. Thanks everyone for your patience and jumping in.
I've actually been reading Harry
Potter. And we're going to have a fun session today, I think, assuming all the tech cooperates. We are still recovering from BlueBoxCon and from the vacation that we took. There was so many changes that took place and also some missing technology, but I think it's going to be fun. We got some good announcements tonight. All right, so here we go. Kicking off live on video.
Oh gosh.
Welcome, Blue Box. This is episode 59 of Runelords. Today is entitled The White Fort Mystery. And of course, the players are in Fort Von Frost, formerly known as Fort Rannoch. Recovered by the heroes of Sandpoint. All the denizens of Turtleback Ferry now populate this fort, which you see before you here, and we're using primarily tabletop minis, although depending on what the players do today, we may also see some Tailspire, if I can get all the stuff to work. And all the stuff has not been working. So we are late, and we apologize, but thank you for being with us. And let's talk quickly about our sponsors. I don't want to spend too much time, but I would like for you, Cade, / Short Mom on the Run, to talk about today's featured sponsor, because we're going to do a giveaway of...
I was not prepared.
I know, that's why I
put us on the spot. It's all an improv lesson.
Mike Disney. I knew you could handle this one. Mike, so we're going to give away an Overgourd print today and also an Overgourd pin. Print and pin. Tell us a little bit about Mike Disney.
Well, should I hold the print?
Sure.
You got this. In Cade?
Sure.
Do it as Cade.
Yes.
This is our sponsor, Mike Disney. Mike drew the Overgourd print, whereas I also made the Overgourd shirt for John. And we all love Mike. He's done some one-shots with us.
Yep.
Yes.
And he's very funny. I like Mike.
He joined us for an LMA once.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of them, actually.
So, I like this print because I put it up during Halloween. And it's one of my decorations I used for Halloween. I put it up last year. And we have it over here. So, get ready. And this will be one of the giveaways today from Mike Disney.
Woohoo!
What does he also do?
What does he also do?
He's a mini painter.
Oh yes, he's a mini
He
painter.
does all
Oh
of
my
it.
god!
And
He
he
does all
paints
of it.
on Twitch in the
No,
morning.
he's not a mini painter.
another
He is
amazing
the
painter.
mini
That's
painter.
right.
Whoops.
He
can't hear this one.
paints minis.
Oh yeah, his minis are incredible.
Well,
Oh.
let's put on the spot,
Catch him
and my
on-
mind would blink.
Catch him on
STW Jester has told us the name of the sword, Anduril.
Anduril.
That's the one. Yes. Thank
Full
you.
blue leather version. See, I thought it looked like
You were right.
Anduril.
Yeah, he is an amazing mini painter. And yes, I have the sword here, the blade. This was my birthday gift from BlueBoxCon, and my family got this for me. So if you have not seen this yet,
Very pretty.
I also got a somewhat less auspicious birthday gift. I believe Pat gave this to me. I'm an old buzzard now, and so I keep that as well. So we have a huge announcement today. We're missing. There is a conspicuous absence at the table.
Yes.
We all miss Chris, player for Eamon. He not only died, Eamon,
died.
not Chris.
You always do that.
Think about this, John. Really?
It might be intentional at this
He
point.
keeps saying he likes killing players.
It was so coincidental because the dice ruled, and of course Tim made me do it. I have that shirt as well. But he failed to escape the trap that Ixen had laid for the players. And while there was fantastic roleplay and combat, ultimately Eamon perished inside the labyrinth that had been pre-prepared by Ixen and his master. Chris told us after the stream, what?
That he's
He's
moving to South Carolina.
And I believe his comment was the dice.
The dice just know.
The
Yeah.
dice just know. So we have not jettisoned Chris intentionally as a player. His death with Eamon was coincidental to a fact that he was moving, and we didn't
Yeah.
even know that yet.
Yeah, until after the stream.
and so, but that's just how things work out. Now, well, that's good for him, and Chris is a great guy. We will keep him always in Blue Box lore. It's a good move for him, so it's not a bad thing. He's got a great thing that's happening for him with his move back kind of closer to his home and his roots. But we also have a new player joining us next week. And this new player is someone that is going to be embraced by the Mad Chatters. I have talked with Chandler for 2-3 days now. He is super sharp. He is 23 years old, I think.
He actually went to high school with me. We've been good friends for a very long time. And some of you might recognize the name Mr. Grantler. He is the guy who painted the minis that I used in the one-shot.
He just joined our Discord. That's
And he joined our Discord recently. I sent him
But I
the link for
remember
that.
he
so
had
yeah,
watched some of your
he
streams.
painted. He's watched a couple of my streams. He painted the minis that I used for the one shot that I ran at BlueBoxCon. He's been adjacently involved in Blue Box for a while, and he's very excited to join.
Anybody
So.
sitting next to me needs to beware because they all die.
That is the death chair right there.
I mean,
We'll see if he can break it. So yes, this is the
It's
full.
by you.
I'm in the middle. It's canceled out.
This is the full blue leather version of Andrew. Absolutely, and thank you to everybody. I'm still not over all the joy from BlueBoxCon, but neither am I fully recovered from our vacation, and so that's why we were late today. Thank you for your patience. Let's go ahead quickly and let's go through the PCs. Let's talk about what happened last time and jump into our role play today. Tell us what happened last time.
alright, so last time we started off in combat with Ixen, continuing after he had fallen and come back with a pendant that he was wearing around his neck that brought him back. Immediately, Ray had actually saved Irda from a very terrible fate very quickly by biting Ixen's knee. And Ixen repaid him by grinding him into the stone and killing his familiar that he created a long time ago, with Ray's final words being, "My God, why?" And with that, Ray was no more. Ixen then, there was a little bit of combat action that had taken part with the party, and then Ixen cast a time stop spell that allowed him to do quite a few things very quickly while the rest of the party felt like they were almost stopped.
3 rounds, including a summoning and some other nastiness.
And the incendiary cloud that he cast as well. So he summoned a very large female demonic form of some sort that started to pursue after the party. However, before that happened, Ixen cast a chain lightning spell on Cade, Irda, and Aemon, who were all kind of little ducks in a row. And unfortunately, Aemon, who was sitting at 26 hit points because of Irda's raging song, because he was at 1 without it, 26 hit points, he both failed his save on that and took the full 90-something
80-something, 90-something damage,
You've been saying whoopsie a lot lately. That makes that seem very dangerous next to you.
He was put at very, very negative, very, very ash dead. Yes, so he was turned into a smoldering pile of ash from that chain lightning. But everyone else was able to. Irda rescued her brother, healed him, and he was able to then carry himself onward as the rest of the party was making quick footsteps and running as fast as they could out. Ixen did cancel the haste, but fortunately, Alcott had gotten close enough to everybody and was able to teleport them out of the. And I know I'm cutting a lot of stuff right now, but I'm doing it for time. But Alcott was able to cast a teleport spell, and even though he felt some resistance from whatever magics had been laid upon the this fortress, basically underground, that Ixen and his master had concocted, thankfully, it was not enough to keep the party from departing and actually making it to their intended destination, which was Fort Von Frost. So the spell completed. Alcott and Cade immediately collapsed onto the ground, still affected by a weakness, symbol of weakness spell, and Irda used her Lesser Restoration to help Alcott because he was more greatly affected by that, with his strength being low as a wizard. And then there were some conversations that took place. Tyveth explained what he had seen up to that point, and Alcott was interested in more information from what they could learn from Tyveth. Alcott also did turn to Irda, who was concerned about making sure that Aemon was able to be put to rest properly as best as that they could. Alcott also wanted to make sure to check for the note that he was, the response that he had been expecting, Aemon had been expecting. And Alcott actually turned to Irda and told her that he hoped that it was worth rescuing her brother for the loss of Aemon's sake.
That was received so well.
Which she did not take well. But yeah, that's basically where we ended last time. Sweet.
All right, let's introduce players. Start with you, Kate.
It's been a while. Huzzah! You lovely landlubbers in the sea of Twitch. I am a level 10 swashbuckler. Oh, let's see. I lost Ray, but I wasn't very nice to him. And then lost my pal Aemon.
You just used Ray's face as a scouring pad against stone.
You bring that up so many times.
It's one of the cruelest things I've ever heard done to a familiar, frankly. So,
Just as Aemon was, I think, warming up to me, I lost. So, people who get close to me, be careful. You might die. Other than that, I love me gold, my wenches, and my rum.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Alcott.
Alcott Devereaux, Wizard Extraordinaire, currently a level 10 wizard, human as Cade, and sad. And really happy at the same time. It's a mix of emotions. We're alive, but one of us fell, and for Alcott, that is very much like it's the third person in his life that he was getting close to that has perished recently.
Stop getting close to me.
Yeah, apparently there's a common denominator
Seems like
here.
there's a lot of common denominators amongst us. But it's not John. Don't blame it on John.
Oh, it's Tim! Y'all blame Tim!
But that's
I'm not
yeah, and definitely curious about how I'm gonna pull together 150,000 gold to pay off my family's debt. But we'll see.
I'm so curious about that too. All right,
Yeah,
Tim, Irda.
Hello everyone, I am Yada Landriel. I am a level 11 character, level 8 Skald, level 3 Paladin of Serenray. I am Azimar. I am the only non-human in the group currently, since we lost Eamon. I am very, very happy to be reunited with my brother, who I have not seen since we were 9 years old. So it's been a minute, literally almost 20 years. Yeah. She is going to be feeling a bit of guilt right now, because, yeah.
Might have already started.
But she was definitely very glad to learn a bit about where Ixon's power lies after having faced him in combat. Yes, moving forward, I hope that we can defeat him at some point, because he needs to go down.
Well said. All right. So as we begin tonight, you are in Fort Von Frost, formerly Fort Rannick, and there is a snow. There's frost everywhere, actually giving now this tower a proper embellishment of its moniker. This castle truly is of frost, as winter has gripped here, and I'll pull this up on the monitor. This area in the north part of the western section of Galarian. And so right here past Turtleback Ferry, it's where you initially encountered the townsfolk, which now inhabit Fort Rannick. Hook Mountain, of course, here is where you encountered the Stone Giants and all that nasty nonsense. Yeah, and Alcott for the first time. Lost Solomon there inside Hook Mountain. Buried his body then in Fort Rannick, which is
My powers reach further than I thought.
and sat here. All right, so kick this off and make sure it's not overpoweringly loud. As the wind blows.
Oh, Pat said, are we changing advantages, disadvantages?
Yeah, so thank you for asking, Pat. I'm going to publish that this week. The conversation we had on Wednesday was so instructive. I wanted a little bit more time to think about it, but tonight I'm just going to say that we'll keep it as it has been for today, and then I'll publish what the changes will be before our Tuesday session.
Oh, we got a raiding party. Great Hot Tails.
Oh, thank you, Great Hot Tails, good friends. And your timing is perfect because we are super late today. And all of you that have joined, by the way, I want to mention our followers, we are so close to 1,200 now, which is crazy to think. We were just at 9-something a couple of weeks ago. And so we're almost at 1,200 now, but our subs have dropped quite a bit. And I think that's just been because we've been streaming infrequently and whatnot. So if you're someone that was previously subbed and your sub had dropped, please go ahead and resub. And hey, thank you very much for the follow, the Mythic A. Good to have you with us today.
2 away.
Your brother, we're 2 away?
We're 2 away from
A Warrior Streak joined.
We have
Thank you,
dice
Warrior
we can
Streak.
give away. If we reach 1,200.
Well, we're going to reach 1,200 for sure, so let's just see how the stream goes. But if you did not see earlier, we are giving away today the Mike Disney Overgored print. I have another one here. Mike Disney Overgored print. This is from one of our great sponsors, and this is his custom artwork, which also now is being used by Reaper to create an actual mini as part of their new Reaper Bones series. And you can have a custom print from Mike Disney today on stream. We may have some dice here. We'll see how the stream goes. I wasn't going to use these today, but you're right. These dice, you can't just get these. These guys were from GaryCon. These were a gift that came from Luke Gygax, and the
Wow.
Gary Con team as part of the 4 streams I DM'd. These are from Dice Fanatics. And yes, you could go to Dice Fanatics, check them out. They're not a sponsor, but they were kind enough to send these to us. But you would not have the set that was actually gifted to me by Luke Gygax and the Gary Con team, which includes this really cool pin. Well, you can't see that there. Let me get there. And this other thing. So let me ask. I know I keep delaying here, but it's just you brought this up the dice. This.
Oh,
I'm not really sure what that's for.
is that a 1-inch ruler?
It's a ruler. It measures on both sides. It's got their logo in it. You could
Maybe it's
snugly
measuring
fit a
minis.
D6.
Well, but a grid, a normal D&D grid is 1 inch, is the size of the
Right.
square. So I don't know, but it goes to 1 point. It goes to 1 3/16.
All right, so I'll show this to everybody. If you guys know what this is, this could also be part of our giveaway today.
Yeah,
Yeah, very fancy, very fancy. All right.
How big is this dice?
Well,
It's
I
measured.
guess that it could be for putting at the base of minis for picture taking, for showing off the size
Oh,
of them.
that's-
Maybe.
Oh, okay, maybe. But it's a
Oh,
dice company,
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Even
maybe it's
for
showing the
dice?
size of the dice.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because a D6
Scale
would tuck
it
nicely in that corner.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Irda, as the chill winter wind blows, bits of frost come off the tops of the parapets of Fort Von Frost. There are many of the townsfolk of Turtleback that still mill about. Shadow Mist, you catch him from the corner of your eye, shooting baleful glares at you, clearly feeling neglected is your steed. Mayor Shreed is bustling about, giving orders, and there is a definite levity that you sense in the fort. People are excited to see you back. And you had asked a question of your brother, what he saw, or what had happened. And Tyvith, he still in casual clothing, and I'll flip this around here and show where you guys are at. Casual clothing, rags, quite frankly, that he wears, and his visage still gaunt. The torture that he underwent by the hand of Vixen, which included sucking his own blood out, and some really nasty treatment that he received. He is still suffering from it, but he is glad to see you and to be with you. And I'm fixing the focus here on that guy. There we go. And he looks up at you. It all began, my sister, when I was taken. The ensuing years are a blur in my mind. I was enslaved. I was taken amongst the people to the east. Belsken, there were orcs all about, and I was told there was a reason for this. He, the one who had come and befriended our family, said I had a purpose which I never understood. My years were many. I learned certain skills and traits, and I became stronger. But I always missed you and missed my family, and I was beholden to not only these orcs, but overlords which would come and visit them in the hold of Belsken. I was approached one day by this man in the hood, who still looked like a man at this time. He said he could help me reach my sister. You know, I jumped at the chance to be freed from these tyrants and to have hope beyond hope that I could be reunited with my sister. I never thought this would happen. I was a fool. I followed this man. He chained me. I saw images, and I cannot explain. They would appear from nowhere, and there was a creature of skull and bone, of ash and waste, waves of evil could be felt even from the image of this creature. It was some kind of patron, some kind of instructor to the man that came and sought me. I later learned his name was Ixen. Once they had me chained, I'll never forget the laughter. I'll never forget the cackling, the gloating. It was not just to take the Azamar blood from my body and turn it to their purposes. They used it to accelerate the transformation as Ixen followed his master. But more than that, they took glee in the pain that would bring you. I lost consciousness many times. I lost more than just consciousness. By the time I had returned to my senses and had enough sentience to see awareness around me, I was in the place that you found me. Used for the purposes. I am sorry for your friend Aemon. I would not have asked that I would have been something to sacrifice a good friend for, nor to be conflict among you. I love you, my sister, and it is my greatest joy to see you again. I never thought, when I agreed to follow that monster, that it would become what it has become.
Tyvith, you have no apologies to give, and I apologize for my earlier outburst. You are not the cause of Aemon's death. We are all very aware of who is.
Me?
No,
Ixen.
Ixen. We all have a singular purpose now. A job that needs to be done. Preparations, of course, but we must stay focused and vigilant.
He's a little scary. Not gonna lie.
There are others that are close to me, which could be in danger as well. Family. I would hope that you might respect that and assist us, possibly getting them somewhere safe, such as here. Any of you. But you are not responsible for this.
To be directly responsible? No, I am not a fool, I know this, but there is still a measure of guilt of mine on this. I was a fool to follow him. I don't know what I can do to aid you in finding your family, but I will render such aid as I can. But I need rest. You see, he kind of wavers on his feet.
We were fools for thinking that we could take on Ixen for more than a minute. We should have gotten you and gotten out. We chose to stay and fight.
Alright.
That is what led to Aemon's death as well. We all have a hand in this, but we are not at fault.
Irda, without saying anything, will go to Tyvith's side, take his arm, and just kind of start helping him away towards where her quarters are. I literally tried, but he needs his rest.
Before he leaves, Tyvith, you mentioned when they were siphoning from your inside to bring back these memories.
Yeah, he like subconscious or unconsciously starts rubbing his arms.
Was that in a different location than when you woke up?
Yes, it was a laboratory. Oh, there was something else. There was a discussion they had. It was a race against time, I think, was the word that they used. It was as though they sought to summon a great power before it could be summoned by others, to curry favor. this is all I could gather from what they said, but it seemed this was their principal concern.
You think they're racing against the brothers?
No, at least I don't think so. I think they're working with them because there was.
Perhaps they had plans to betray them.
This is a much longer story, but I need to care for him first.
Sorry.
Continue this
You're right.
conversation.
It just seemed like it was on your mind.
Would you excuse me?
Yes.
I
And
must rest.
And Irda will bring him to her room and help him to rest there.
All right. So Irda turns and she takes her brother to the primary tower here. And by the way, thank you everybody for joining us. Yes, we kind of solved the technical problems, but not fully. You might notice the DM cam looks wonky today. We're not using our normal DSLR. We'll have all this worked out over the coming week, and we'll be back in all of our technical glory. And yet, nonetheless, we could do pure theater of mind and just have a great day today because we have great role players. So we're not going to stress it or sweat it, but thank you all for being with us. Yeah, so I appreciate that, but it normally looks better, cosplayed. But thank you. I'm glad it doesn't look too horribly bad. Now, as Irda takes Tyvith away, there is again a bustling about of the townsfolk. And Cade, you had a twinkle in your eye. Before I proceed forward with any further discussion, I want to make sure you have an opportunity if there's something you wanted to say or do. I believe you said you had an idea, but...
Well, I have to have the hawk.
But you don't.
No, so
Okay.
Apparently, this is a list of steps.
Yes.
How about this? This is what I was about to say to Kate as they walk
Okay.
away. Shouldn't we look for the person Eamon was having wait for the hawk? I believe they were up on that tower.
Oh, what's a good idea?
Seems like that would be our best bet. I don't know what else to do with myself
I
right
just
now.
think you should be careful around me. Every time somebody gets close to me,
I would say the same to you.
well, you haven't had as many die as I have.
I don't think we need to toss around idle threats to each
And
other.
they have horrible deaths. They have horrible deaths.
Are you sure they're idle?
Kate, I'm not sure where this is going.
I don't kill them. They just seem to end up horribly mangled and burned. But let's go find that man.
Great. Sure.
All right.
Whatever you say, Kate. I'll back a couple feet away.
So, as you're having this conversation, you also see the pickled pirate is very, very close to finishing, at least on the outside.
Oh, it looks
I've already referenced the wall.
beautiful.
The wall is completed. You've seen Grog's rumbling about as well. He's pulling huge stones and
Gurgs, yeah.
Gurgs, sorry. And but you notice that again, the pickled pirate. It's starting to look quite well constructed here, and it is the aft of a ship, which I don't have currently, but I will at some point very soon. Here on this wall.
Oh, this is going to be the epicenter of Fort Frost. Yes.
Drink and merriment.
I don't think that word means what you think it means, but I'm going to move on. So Irda, as you...
My wee sword.
My wee dagger. My wee dagger.
My wee dagger. All right. So Irda, as you're walking toward, and by the way, for our viewers, yes, we use a combination of minis, physical terrain, theater of mind, Tailspire, virtual tabletops. We use all these different tools in different ways. I am not sold on one. I like all. The one thing that I maintain, of course, at all times is that D&D is about imagination, roleplay, theater of mind. I love the voice acting, though I don't require it. I think it's fun in the game. I'm not the best at it. We've had some comments today and other times about the accents used. And I'm going to do a stream on this here for Lore Masters Arcanum pretty soon. But you should never feel constrained as a DM or player about whether or not you're doing a proper Scottish accent or a proper Russian accent or a proper English accent or a proper, unless you're actually playing in a an Earth-based game,
yeah.
right? You're in a fantasy game, and so I know some people. I think D&D Imposter, really good role player. I don't think she's on with us tonight, but she plays in the Children of Dirt campaign with Josh, and she was concerned, Kristen I think is her name, like that her accent goes in and out. Like, what, who cares? Right? Maybe that's the accent that happens in that world.
That's Alcott for me.
Kate never sounds the same. Evelyn's very good. Occasionally, the accents that she uses will wander, and you have to give that because she plays like 7 different characters at all times.
Sometimes Millie comes out when she's not supposed to.
Yes.
That happens. But we just like to play the game, and ultimately, that's an unsolicited tip for all the viewers, whether you're a player or a DM. Embrace it, roll with it. If you mess it up, who cares? Nobody knows. It's fantasy. All right,
Yes.
Irda.
Yes.
As you're walking toward the main tower, you see the watchman, Gord. In all of his 6-foot-plus gray-haired glory, scar stretching across his cheek. As you see him here, he's the one that has taken control of making sure that all the guards and the watchmen atop the towers know what to do. And in his familiar gravelly voice, you can see that scar extends down. Looks like he's had some damage to his vocal cords.
Milady, I don't know how to say it, but there has been some, the altar, your goddess altar, Serin Ray, some markings, some, defecation, no, that was not the word they used, defamation of the altar. I thought you should know.
Thank you. I will take
Of course. But you can see, lady, the guards are all in place and their jobs are being done well. And well, the fort, it seems like, I never want to say we're safe in these days, but it seems like it's on that way. I hope you feel we've done well.
From what I can tell, everything seems to be running smoothly. I appreciate all your work that you have been doing here, friends.
Of course. Again, sorry about the altar. We'll set a watch and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Thank you. I would appreciate it.
All right, you see this conversation. You can't really hear what's being said, but Cade and Alcott, you are still here in the midst of the courtyard. Malin Shreed comes walking over, and as he does, he kind of casts a glance toward Irda and gives a quick smile to both of you.
So good that you're back. You have been well missed, and the people they've been most concerned about you. There is a morale boost each time you are back
Huzzah!
inside the fort.
Huzzah!
Huzzah.
Yes, that. The huzzah and all of that helps, yes. And your place of imbibement.
The pickled pirate!
That, yes, it is. It's getting close to completion, and everyone seems quite excited about
They
it.
should be.
But where is the one with the cloth?
Alright, take him around. Let's pour one out. And drink some.
He didn't make it.
He did not make it back.
We knew the
Did not-
risks going in.
Oh, I pulled out a little pouch. Here's the rest of it.
Shreed just blinks.
I look at you. Did you manage to grab some of him?
Did
Yes.
you manage to grab some?
Here's a bit of cheap.
This might be an odd question,
You look dusty.
but can I hang on to that? Don't misinterpret my question.
And Kay just became a poodle.
For what purpose? Because I had a purpose.
Please.
Tell me! You gotta trust me. I'm a pirate.
Trust me, I'm a pirate.
If we ever come upon someone who knew Eamon, someone who would recognize at least his likeness, with a small bit of him, I can appear as him.
A tiny bit
I don't need much.
Well, so I do have a little bit of him. Would you just use a little tiny bit of him?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you have a little?
Yeah, I'll take out a little glass vial.
Alright.
She drops a few ashes inside your vial.
I, in my head, laugh at the whole situation going on right there, and I'm going to head up to the tower, Shreed.
As you do this, Mayor Shreed looks at you, and suddenly his jovial nature becomes stricken. As the death of Eamon is discussed, a piece of him, and you start laughing. He just kind of he scratches his head and pushes.
It's been a whirlwind of emotions, Shreed. I am sorry.
We're just glad to be back on Earth, back in this place.
Back on Earth.
Not the name of the planet.
Not the name of the planet.
Galarian.
Back on Galarian.
I mean, we were here the whole time.
We're just glad to be away from Ixon. We're very happy.
Okay, but we got an advantage, each of us.
Oh, thank you very much for the advantage. That came from.
Patrick, Canadian Gamer.
Oh, we get a first-time chat from viewer. I've never seen that notification before. Zombie Mini.
That's a new one. It's a
Zombie
new
Mini. Is that
notification.
Is that
No.
Chandler? By
He's
chance?
Mr.
Is that who we
Grantler.
had? Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was the same
But
for
yeah, we do
Twitch
get,
versus
we
Discord.
now get
Oh, that's super cool.
notifications when someone's.
Oh, it is new. Jay
Yeah.
said it's new. That's a
Yep.
new thing on Twitch. I think Twitch has some new emojis and all kinds of fun stuff as well.
Yeah.
And since Jay just chatted, I think it's a good time to mention. I didn't do it earlier because I wanted to make sure we had a few more viewers. And thank you for your patience, everyone. Of course, Blue Box has been a bit off kilter for the past month, both the con and then the vacation. Thank you to everybody that did the one-shots. We talked about that last week. But we have some really fun stuff coming up. We have, of course, virtual Greyhawk Con coming up in October, and there will be some really fun things featured there. Jay has some incredible guests, and Blue Box will have some very good streams that are planned for that as well. I've got a one-shot that's coming up where I'll be playing with Asher, Casey. I'll talk about that in a bit as well. And then a big announcement today. I think I teased this previously, but now we have a date. July 17th, we will have a charity stream for St. Jude's. And it's going to be Blue Box and Lord Guzumba, and we will do a full day of streams. I think we'll probably have 2 and then right into Jay. Jay has some incredible guests, including some old school D&D folks. I want to make sure they're all confirmed before I announce the names. And then Eric Mona, of course, of Paizo Creation, and an incredible role player, be featured on Jay's stream. I have tentatively scheduled many of the Tailspire luminaries, and I've got to get back to them the date, but they've agreed to it in concept. That includes Charles Istari, John Demongund, Johnny Ree, all of our friends from the Tailspire community. They are going to do a one-shot with us at Blue Box, and I'll do one more one-shot, which it's kind of under wraps. But mark your calendar, July 17th. It is going to be an epic day of D&D gaming, but also all proceeds will go to St. Jude's. Now, just for context, St. Jude's, of course, Children's Hospital, one of the best charities in the world. I just love supporting them. They do amazing work for kids. But we have done 2 now. Blue Box did one, and Lord Gazumba's channel did one that we participated in. Between those 2 streams, or those 2 fundraisers, we've raised nearly $15,000 for St. Jude's. Everything that's given goes straight to St. Jude's through Tiltify, and there will be more about this announced on our app. But you want to make sure that you are part of what we have coming. Not just great role play, but great causes, great impact for the community, and we will have more announcements on that in
I
our
love when you see
Discord.
that kind of message.
Yeah.
What, did I miss something? Or?
Oh.
Pat said he drew some fan art.
Okay. Yes, and if you're new to Blue Box, you may not be familiar with a channel that gets fan art during the stream. But we have the most amazing artist, Pat draws, and Pat, he and I are talking about some other projects that we're working on. But I want to go here.
That's very good.
I'm going to pull it up for anybody that's not in our chat.
I love the cursing symbols as well. Just having
Yes.
constantly.
Hang on here. So let me open the original image. There we go. And I'm gonna pull
You are
that
just tickled by this one, huh?
up here. Yeah, you cannot not love Pat Draw's artwork. Thank you, Hagar, for the resub. I was mentioning earlier, we lost a lot of our subs during the interaction we had with my vacation and all that. But thank you so much for that. And let me zoom this in. So these are the new heroes of Sandpoint, as drawn by Pat Draws, the incredible artist. And so we have Alcott, Irda, and Cade, Ixen, Eamon, cross through TBD, and we have the little chiseling here, and that's just incredible.
There was the sculptor in Sandpoint that made the original statue, so I'm guessing that's who it is.
That's exactly right.
Looks at me walk up to a statue and just change it in an instant. Like, what's even the point?
I was like, my aunt!
Yeah, you guys, if you haven't, like, join our Discord, even if it's not in there, and you got to follow Pat Draws too. Pat Draws,
Yes.
please pop all of your socials, Pat, if you can, in the chat. We like
Pate's
supporting
on
people
Twitch
that support
now.
us, and he's not a sponsor. I don't know why. We just never have done that, but he's an incredible part of the community and does great work. We got so
really
much
got
fan
you.
art from him.
It's really great.
It really is. It really is well done.
That made it
Okay.
lighthearted.
All right. Where were we?
I'm going to head up, noting Shreed's just complete lack of possible understanding of what we've gone
Yeah,
through.
incomprehensible to him the way you're giggling about Eamon's death and
And,
the pieces of him that are now in the vial.
And I'm going to head up the stairs to the tower where
Alright,
Eamon's
follow Alcott.
hawk
And I take a
was
swig
left
of rum.
from.
Okay, so you follow.
I need-
I actually believe it was the clock
Oh,
tower.
that's right. Yes.
Where the
Okay.
letter
Where the
was
hawk was
expected.
left
Right.
from.
Okay, so you head up to that tower.
Because you had talked to that
Yep.
guard as well.
And Cade, I think you just did something not expected. You did what?
Followed Alcott.
No, you took a swig of rum. That was like
Oh,
clearly
yeah.
I was just being
Very cute. Arr.
Would you like some rum?
No thanks. Maybe one
So
day.
boring. You know you want some.
I'm
man.
more of a wine man than a rum. Give me a taste. I mean,
knew it.
I made this stuff.
It'll put hair on your chest, man.
I doubt that. None has come in so far.
Trying to help you.
Anyways, you there, guard.
Huzzah!
So you climb the stairs here. The first guard you see actually put you here, so you're kind of walking there. He turns around. You see he was kind of watching below, but as you ascend the stairs, he snaps to attention. He stands straight and tall, adjusts his conical cap.
Prepare for inspection.
Yes, sir.
What have you seen today?
Lots of snow, and well, the hill giant, Gurgs, he's been assisting with wars and hunting, and then you lot reappeared.
Huzzah!
Well, +1, -1, I believe, and there's much joy and happiness at your presence, sir.
He snaps his
I
spear
love
down.
this guy.
You're really trying to keep a straight face right now. Yes, you're doing fantastically. Any hawks recently come in? There should have been one flying directly to the fort.
Well, there are all manner of birds of prey that we see. Sometimes they land in the shrubbery around the castle, but none that I would say were a threat, if that's your concern.
No. Perhaps I should speak to one of your colleagues, and I will just walk past him.
As you turn, he kind of pulls against the wall.
Oh gosh, how do we get this hawk back?
Well, we're going to talk to the actual.
How did it come back to Eamon?
It didn't. Is the problem?
No, but didn't it come back one time?
Once I believe it did, yes, and I do not believe I was there for that. I'm fairly certain it just flew straight back to his hand. From the little bit I know about these types of figurines, they should just fly straight back. Although it was specifically instructed to fly back here, so I don't know. We will see.
What if we put a hand?
Anyways, I will then walk up to the guard who I recognize as the one that Eamon informed and paid.
Well, candidly, all the commoners look very similar in their conical caps. But as you walk past the one that was here, he kind of calls out to you, "Have I disappointed in some manner?"
Probably. Just kidding.
No, you've done fantastic work. And, your name? Sorry.
You sure I haven't disappointed in some manner?
No. I simply wish to know for future reference.
Would you like some rum, sir? You seem a little stiff.
He's on duty, Cade.
Oh, right.
My name is Yarm.
I pull out a little notebook as he says it. Yarn?
I meant Dorm.
That seems unlikely.
What is it, sir?
No, I'm simply messing with you. Sorry, it's been a long day. I need a little levity, as much as
He
you all
took us
got.
for the rum, excuse him.
It's done a number on my system.
He's a teetotaler then.
He is. Yeah, I gotta be careful about him. He drinks way too much.
One swig and...
I pull out a whole bottle of wine that looks like it wouldn't fit in a side pouch of my backpack.
Oh, you have the woman's drink with you.
All right then. Okay. And I take a very big long note next to his name and continue walking past him.
Right. You move past him.
I try to brush through my long hair that should be there and realize that it's stubble and just keep walking.
It's not there.
I'm working on it.
Wait, here, I'll make sure it's all the audio. Sorry, the shrubbery. Yes. Nice of me. All right, correct. The herring.
Down the middle.
All right.
Not too nice. Not too
All
expensive.
right, so you walk to that far tower. This is exactly where you saw Eamon. You don't see the keyboard. You saw Eamon push off the hawk from this tower, headed toward his former master. And yes, you had to. So the comments earlier, just to clarify, you had seen Eamon once send the hawk off and have it returned.
Yes.
But it was a very short trip.
Yeah.
And clearly, he was given a much more distant mission this time, from which you have not seen that he has returned. All right, got that. Okay, so this guard, clearly more seasoned, his armor and whatnot, not nearly as polished, but you sense a definite ease and comfort with wearing it. He's clearly been placed in a position of authority here, and as you walk over, he doesn't quite snap to the way whichever of those names he gave you was right. Yarm, perhaps Yarm, perhaps Storm. He looks over at you and says, yes, what can I do for you?
We are simply here to... Well, I would like to inform you that Eamon has not returned, and we are here to see if his hawk has.
Eamon was the one with the scars on the cloth. Yeah, he didn't come back with you, did he?
No. Has his hawk?
I was here the day he pushed that creature out, which was the strangest bit of magics I've seen. It was a wee thing.
That's the strangest you've seen.
Stick around, you'll see.
Aye.
All right. Noted. Pull out my little notebook.
Alcott intimidating everyone with his notebook.
I watched him pull it out, and he threw it into the sky. He let out this strangest whistle and kind of a yelp, and it took flight. It did, and it was then off into the yonder. I've not seen it since.
Did he ever see it come back? Like before?
He did send it out once
Yes.
before.
Were you here when he did that? And when he came back?
This was the first time I'd seen such magics. It was not something I'd seen before.
Interesting.
Do we call for it back? Or does it just come back? Do we put our hand up? How do we get it back? I don't know, how do we get it back? I put my hand up.
Are you asking me?
Did the hawk have a name?
No. As far as I remember, it just came back to him because that's what he instructed it to do. My theory, sometimes these things don't last forever. They have a limited amount of time that they can be transmogrified into what they are. It might have gotten there, and the idea being that whoever he was sending it to would be knowledgeable enough with magical items to be able to send it back. Perhaps they are not.
Oh, they stole the hawk!
Or perhaps he wasn't there to receive it.
Could be not knowledgeable enough, could be not present enough, could be
any
not
number
alive
of
enough.
things. Yes. There are any number of things that could lead us to a conclusion that we might not like. Pardon him.
There's no need for pardoning. We've seen Kate before. And we know he's well-intentioned, but there's the affliction.
A pirate needs his perchin fellow friend. I don't have a perchin friend.
That's right. You did have the comrade.
I did. He got snuffed out too.
It was quite the fight. We went through.
Yes. We lost a few.
Well, good. And your name was?
I am Saren, and I'm always here. I can be of help to you, whatever you need. But
No, you're doing fantastically. Haven't seen anything out of the ordinary today?
and I assume you mean Poseidon, the materialization, the presence of all of you. It's suddenly here in the fort, and
Other than that.
other than the heel giant, which wanders around and
Yes. Other than all of the things that are fairly usual at this point. Unusual, one might say.
Kind of looks around conspiratorially.
Are you all
Oh
right?
yeah, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, man?
See that horse? And he points to the stables where Shadow Mist is.
Aye.
It's changing. Seems angry. Evil sometimes.
Ah, interesting. Thank you. And, Cade, if you don't mind, I'm going to actually, do the rounds. Try and meet some of the people in this fort that I've neglected at this point.
I'll do my best.
If you would like to, you can come around, but, I pull out my notebook, and
Alright, I go down. I start meeting people.
Alcott is gonna...
Why does that sound like such a bad
Alcott's
idea?
actually Alcott's gonna stay on the wall and take count of all of the guards that are there, get to meet them, and basically ask them the same question: have you seen anything out of the ordinary today?
Okay, all right. So as you move, you start making the rounds across the parapets here, and there are exactly.
And I'm certain you
as
have a name
see-
for every one of these guys
Of
ready
course
to
I do.
go.
Yes, I do. Absolutely. I can get you as many as you want. I've got. So the key to that is not freezing in the moment. Just whatever comes to you, and then you got to write it down afterwards.
Yep.
And that's a lovely thing about Twitch streaming is that
You can look at the
go
box
back
afterwards.
and then put it. So I have a spreadsheet actually. I'm not going to flip my thing here, but I write a lot of my NPC names, and I'll
Where
have
they're-
like comments of, because again, this is a challenge for a DM. When you're a player, you have one accent, right? Well, unless you're playing a multiple personality character, but generally you have one accent. When you're a DM, you don't know who they're going to talk to, who they're going to, genders and personalities and whatnot. And if you're sandboxing, which is kind of what we do here, it's an amalgamation of sandbox and storytelling. You have to be prepared, but then you want it to be consistent. So I put the notes here. For example, Gord, who is the castle garrison. So I have a note here. You might have heard me earlier on the stream. 50-year-old with gray hair, receding, half chainmail, long scar against his cheek that goes down and touches the corner of his throat. Gravelly, minor accent, sounds like his vocal cords were damaged. So I'll write those kinds of notes in, and oftentimes I'll go back and just to try to keep the theater of mind and the immersion as consistent as possible, which I guess I've just broken by explaining all that.
Hey,
All right, now,
I mean, that's fine.
So, Irda,
Yes.
you escort Tyveth into the tower after receiving the news from the watchman about your altar. What do you do?
So she's just going to kind of walk quietly next to Tyveth as she's taking him to be able to take some time to rest. And she clearly looks to have something on her mind. She takes a moment, just walks There is much to talk about, but right now is not the time. I'm glad we found you. I'm sorry for what they did to you on my behalf. But we shall talk. You should rest.
My sister, it was not on your behalf. It was done to me by this evil. Oh, I feel lightheaded. It was not your doing, it was not your fault. And I do not wish you to feel any sense of this guilt. This is. I'm sorry. I must rest. And you see he kind of slumps to the ground. You even now more than ever notice in the torchlight inside the tower how pallid he looks, how gaunt his cheeks are, his eyes sunken in, dark shadows beneath them, his hair lank against his cheeks, his garments threadbare, and he slumps to one side, giving you one final look that clearly he's trying to convey comfort, but it looks more haunting.
And how far had we gotten into the tower?
You're inside the first level of the tower. Yeah.
So Irda knows from the battle with Ixen that she is able to carry Tyveth. So as he's passing out, she'll just kind of scoop him up and carry him the rest
There
of the
are
way.
not many humans that she can't carry. She's got a lot of strength. All right, so you scoop him up. He feels frail in your arms. Even though it's been 20 years since you'd seen him, you would have thought your brother to be more substantial, but clearly the trials that he's gone through, it feels like you're carrying skin and bones as you walk up the stairs. Again, the townspeople, now of Fort Von Frost, formerly of Turtleback Ferry, many of them, as you walk by, there is a sense of almost worship. Children touch your garments. Townsfolk, they seem to step aside and they bow to you as though being passed by royalty.
Irda is going to look for, as she kind of goes up, look for one of the people that's been responsible for helping with the food preparation for everyone, and she's just going to ask for something for Tyvus to have once he awakens.
Okay.
But she'll continue the rest of the way up to her quarters. And she'll lay him down and just let him rest and close the door quietly behind herself.
Okay, so the food is arranged for. You tuck him underneath your blankets. He's shivering, but you sense he is stable and no actual danger. And you leave him behind closed door.
And she'll continue up the tower to the altar of Sarenrae.
Okay.
She wants to inspect it.
As you move up through the remaining stairs of the tower, through the different stairs, at each level, the same thing repeats itself. The townsfolk, they know who you are, but more than just who you are, what you are. They have seen your winged glory. They have seen your Azamar blood displayed. They have seen the combat prowess. You are their patron, and there's an increasing sense of, again, not in a heretical way, but not in a worship of Irda. You move through the stairs. You emerge in the crisp air atop the tower. And let's put you up there.
And just a note, as she goes, she'll, give everyone gentle smiles and kind of greet them. Kind of will give a nod here and there. She's trying to not be unfriendly. She's just feeling a little solemn at the moment.
Certainly. Okay. All right. So as you do this, you come atop the tower in the fading afternoon sun, and let's see if I have that battle cam properly positioned. Here we go. That'll work. And you walk over, you see atop the tower the altar as you remember leaving it, but you do see that it looks like in chalk there are words that have been written on the altar itself, on the ground by the altar. One of them says, lair.
Roll an investigation check for me, please.
So perception?
So hold on. So let's do, instead of just a base perception, pull this up here. Let's do. Like any of those. Let's just do a raw intelligence check for me. So roll under your intelligence, please.
For my intelligence. I will do this at an advance.
Yeah, I like that 5e has an investigation skill, which is kind of that Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, and you
moment
have
thing.
variances between 3.5 and Pathfinder as well that occur. So.
That's a natural one, so yes, I did.
As you look, you see Lair, but then you also see a crudely drawn representation of a, how do I say this? Male genitalia, very crudely drawn. And then you see the word lies also scribbled, and you make the connection. This is childlike. Lair, lies, probably was liar, not lair. You're able to discern, but clearly in ignorance this was scrawled.
Irda, seeing all of this, takes mental note of it, and she knows she could easily clean it up with prestidigitation, but she feels like that would not be respectful to Saren Ray and everything that her goddess grants her, so she will actually begin to clean it away the old-fashioned way, with a little bit of elbows. Just clean it up and return everything to where it's supposed to be. And once it's at a state of where it had been before, because it is chalk, so it shouldn't take a lot to restore it, but she'll actually sit down, kneel.
Oh, wait. So Mark, they can't hear you at all. Let me have you speak.
Is my mic on? It should be. Hold on, let me double check. Yep, I'm
It's
on.
on. Hang on. Let me launch my. Has that been going on for a while, folks? Because that's the first message I've seen.
Castplate says they can hear me.
I think
Lee says
Mike
they can hear me.
might have his volume down a little bit
She's a
because he
bit
said
quiet.
the volume's low as well.
Okay.
Turn
All
the
right.
volume up, Mike.
All right. But fine now. All right.
But once that's all cleared up, she'll remove some of the incense that she keeps, light it in the bowl at the altar, and go through the ritual with the bells, and she'll just kind of kneel in prayer, quiet meditation at the altar, just kind of reflecting on what transpired with Ixen, and being grateful that Saren Ray both reunited her with her brother, but also helped her the friends that survived, or helped her, give her the strength to protect them, and she mourns for the loss of Aemon, and prays for his soul to be taken where it should in the afterlife, because he was kind and brave and a gentle and good soul. But yeah, so she goes through all of that, and so she'll sit there for quite some time, just in prayer and meditation and sort of communing with Saren Ray.
Okay. All right. Well done. And as you do this, you're able to clean everything away again. The chalk wipes up easily. And even beyond just the intelligence check that you made, there is a clear sense that there was nothing of maliciousness or evil here. Whatever defilement was done is of the most puerile kind. And so you find peace. I'm just double checking all the mics. You're mic 2, correct?
Yes.
Can you speak?
Hello.
Hello.
Your mic is not
Kate.
showing. Are you in standby mode perchance, or?
Is that the one that was being weird at Con? Yep,
Sounds like
you
your
hear it?
connection.
There you go. Yeah, we got a wonky connection. Might be
Yeah.
the cable.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
do
the
that.
mic.
Yeah, so we'll swap that out. We got plenty extras of those because I know, like as I'm talking, I'm seeing my voice pop
Yeah.
up on yours, but it's not popping up on that one. So
Yeah.
Pull out.
they kind of unscrew and twist. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and fix this real quick. And as we do, we're going to go to break, our one and only break. And today, of course, we have the Overgord giveaway, and we are joined by the Overgord master himself, Mike Disney, is in the chat. Hello, Mike. Mike, you are the featured sponsor today. Everyone, if you have not, please jump on to Mike's stream. He streams several times a week early in the morning. He shows everything from mini painting to sculpture, artwork, green stuff work. I was going to save this, but since he's on, I'm going to show you something else he has done. He made this from scratch for Blue Box. This is
Yeah, it's so cool.
a magic mouth skull.
Wiley, thank you for the raid.
Oh, thank you for the raid, Wiley Hobbit. Magic mouth skull, magnetic on the back.
cool.
He didn't just paint this. He absolutely made this from scratch with some kind of green goo. I watched him do it on his stream. This man is the most talented sculpturist I've seen in D&D. He just makes this stuff from nothing. Yes, it is sweet. And then, of course, we have his scarns, which I'm not going to give away one of these today, but as he is our sponsor of the week,
so
I will give one of these guys away on our Tuesday night GHA, but I want to make sure we promote it properly. I'm not doing it justice how good this mini is, how well it is painted, the detail, the realism. These are custom painted Mike Disney minis.
You
and
gotta
so
let me see that.
We're going to give one of these
Yeah.
away.
Paints are incredible.
Yeah, and these are, like, he did a bunch of these guys in a lot, but he still can make each one just look unique and just so cool. So thank you so much to Mike Disney. And so his Overgord giveaway is going to be our giveaway today for the stream. And so it is what I showed here. We're giving you this Mike Disney print of the Overgord, which has now been adopted by Reaper, part of their new Bone series. You'll also be able to get a Mike Disney
It's right here.
pin. Thank you very much. You keep telling me that. Mike Disney pin of the Overgord as well. And that will be our giveaway. So all you need to do is type in the chat !OG. !OG for Overgord. !OG in the chat. That enters you in the giveaway, and there is nothing more OG than Mike Disney on Blue Box.
getting
That
ready
is
to
as
say
OG as OG gets. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Thank you for everybody that came in on the raids. If you're not already a follower, please give us a follow. If you're a sub whose sub is expired, please resub. If you're somebody that's brand new to the channel and you've not followed or subbed, we have one question for you here at Blue Box. Thank you, Kung Fu Grasshopper. What are you doing? You need to do exactly what Kung Fu Grasshopper. I love all the every week I get a new name that just blows me away. Now, was that number 1200?
I think it might have been. Let me double
Was
check.
Kung Fu Grasshopper? Let me look here. Let me refresh. Are we 1199?
1.2K.
Yep.
Wait. Oh,
Where's
no, he
our-
was! Kung Fu Grasshopper! You are follower number 1200. Blue Box, and we've seen incredible follower growth in the last month or so.
Give away the dice! Give away the dice! Give away the dice!
All right, well, a little devil on my shoulder, a little angel on my shoulder. I know which one you are. All right, so we'll be right back after the break. Blue Box, yes, congratulations.
Stay on! We might give away dice. You don't want to miss it.
Type exclamation point OG in the chat, and you'll be entered in the Mike Disney giveaway. Still a bit more Blue Box goodness coming after the break.
I love, he typed in chat, he went, "Nai," and then he corrected it with the C at the end. Dice.
Fun stuff. Thanks for bearing with us through all the technical stuff, and we're still, halfway off kilter from vacation and the Blue Box Con. I'm still stunned by everything that happened at the con.
This one's the broken or.
Okay, all right, great. We'll put that over
Did
here.
y'all see Old Faithful go off?
Nice.
We did.
We
I actually like the Great Geyser better though. Is it the
I
Great Geyser or the Grand Geyser?
Oh, was the great.
I think Old Faithful was the only geyser we saw go off because while we were there, did you guys hear about Steamboat Geyser while you were there?
No.
It's the single biggest geyser in Yellowstone. Its geyser goes up about 200, 300 feet. It's insane, and it only goes off anywhere between every 3 weeks to 7 years. It's extremely unreliable. And while we were there, it hadn't gone off for 6.5. And I was like, Mom, it's going to go off while we're here. We have to sit here. And when we finally went to where Steamboat Geyser was, I sat in that spot for literally 30 minutes while my family walked around the rest of the hiking path. And I'm like, I'm not leaving. I'm waiting till it goes off. And then the week after we left, it went off.
Of course.
I was like, come on. We were that close. But yeah, Steamboat is crazy.
We will
guys,
leave the mics hot on break as we always do. Type exclamation point
No,
OG
it's fine, you
in
go
the
potty
chat,
now.
and we
Yes.
will
Oh,
make sure that
watering
when
the
we
plants.
water the plants.
Yes.
Geyser the Geyserian.
Well, you know, very, very important.
Man. A little random Yellowstone trivia. Hey, we all love Yellowstone, except you've never been to Yellowstone.
I've never been there. I've never.
Need to get up on this Yellowstone
the,
hype.
the only place that I have been out west was Las Vegas, Nevada.
Do you know why we have the national park system?
I used to know. I don't remember now.
Yellowstone National Park?
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt
Yeah.
went to Yellowstone National Park and absolutely fell in love with the place. And because he was president, he was like, yeah, all right.
We're gonna do a thing.
Hey, we're going to keep this.
I like this.
And
Let's
so,
not
yeah.
get rid of this.
I think the Grand Canyon was like the second,
Yeah. that one's
or it
fine.
was really high up there for one of them. Do y'all know why he's called Teddy Roosevelt instead of Theodore? That's a fun bit of president lore that I know.
You're great.
You're doing great.
Welcome to Twitch.
Yes. Have fun here.
I'm glad you joined us for your first adventures on Twitch. OG.
Well, go on and tell us that. Well, I asked. I didn't know if any of y'all knew. Okay, so Teddy Roosevelt was out hunting, and he was a big hunter. He would hunt all kinds of game, and they were hunting bears in this one instance. And I think they were using hunting dogs while they were doing that, because that's just kind of what you did.
Yeah.
And they ended up coming upon a younger bear. It wasn't a cub, but it wasn't a full-grown bear, and he did not feel okay with taking the life of this helpless young bear, and so all of his friends started calling him Teddy, because he's as soft as a teddy bear, and so he kind of kept that name and started going by Teddy Roosevelt, and I really like that story. He's a good president. Both the Roosevelts were good presidents.
Did he ever hunt D&D?
Did he ever hunt D&D?
I don't know.
Hey, have you seen the new Loki episode?
Not yet. Still finishing up WandaVision.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You haven't even done Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
So, no, I haven't. Been watching The Bad Batch.
which is really good.
Because can't miss The Bad Batch.
But did I watch the new episode? What was the new episode?
There was a blast from the past from a certain clone.
Oh, did they actually go and meet this certain clone?
Mhm.
Then I have not seen the most
Okay.
recent episode. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, because of Bad Batch, I've recently been getting back into an old phone game that I played called Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, which is like a turn-based Star Wars heroes like fighting game, and it's really fun. And they recently added the Bad Batch to it, and I'm
Nice.
collecting.
Yeah, I love The Bad Batch. It's solid.
They're good characters.
But I mean, it's Filoni, so can't.
Oh yeah, no, Filoni
He knows what he's doing.
and
Favreau.
Favreau should be the keepers of Star Wars
Yes.
for the future. And I think even George Lucas said that when he met Filoni and saw the work that he was doing. He was like, yeah, you're the guy. I mean, they just both respect it so much, and I think that that's what it really needed, which is why I have lots of gripes with the sequels because they were there to make money off of Star Wars rather than make a good story in Star Wars. Which
Oh, Clone Wars is so good.
yeah,
And actually, watching Clone Wars improved the prequel trilogy.
no,
For
seriously.
me.
So for me, and I might have shown a couple of you this, some of you who either came to the con or know me personally. I have a lightsaber. It's dope. And before I got it, because I got it for myself last year as a birthday present, because I'm a nerd.
What? We have nerds
And
here?
I told myself, Thomas, you're allowed to spend a question mark amount of money on the thing because you're a nerd.
Right.
And so because I spent a lot of money on it, I had to challenge myself. That was, before you get it, you have to watch every Star Wars property in chronological order before you get it. And so I watched all of it. I watched the prequels, Clone Wars, the original trilogy. I watched Resistance and Rebels, the sequels, all those cool shows. I haven't watched any of the Lego stuff that they put out, but I've heard that that's actually kind of good. But yeah, Resistance was good, and so was Rebels. Was very good.
Rebels was.
If you can get past the fact that they are definitely kids shows, they're also really good Star Wars shows. Anyways,
They are. No, good discussion to come back
nerddom
into, and thanks for...
finished.
No, there's never an end to the nerddom here on Blue Box. All right, so as we come back in, reminder, !OG in the chat. Get you entered for the Mike Disney Overgourd giveaway. Not a shirt, but this really cool print. And
Indeed.
it's something that only a few folks have, and you can get it here on Blue Box because he is one of our great sponsors. Thank you,
Hey,
Ian. We appreciate
Phantom.
that resub.
Phantom was actually
Was that a gift
responsible
sub?
for that.
Oh, Phantom, Robert,
thank
thank
you
you
for
for
the gift sub.
the multiple gift subs. And yeah, I'm still laughing at the username Kung Fu Grasshopper. Love that. All right, so we are also reminding you before we resume the play that next week we'll be joined by a new player. We have Chandler, friend of Thomas, that will be joining us as a player, and he's going to be a really, really good player with a cool PC. So we'll continue
But
to
he's
see
sitting
level
next
up.
to me, which is never a good thing.
There was a really good question in chat, John. That I think
Okay.
you might, by Dice99 that you might want to answer.
Let me see that. Dice 99.
Most recent message, actually.
It's on
Oh,
the
there it
bottom.
is. Is Blue Box a Doctor Who reference? I get that a lot. So actually,
Blue Box.
yeah, it's not. And in fact, if you don't mind, if you could pull that off the shelf right there.
Blue
So we have a friend here, Kayla, Time Lord's wife, who is a huge Doctor Who fan. Evelyn actually was, let me make sure, was proposed to in a replica of the Doctor Who phone booth. But no, unfortunately, that is not the reference. It's these old school expert edition gaming boxes here, which were before AD&D, at least for me, before AD, TSR, old school TSR. This is how I started playing the game. And so to me, when I started a Twitch channel, I use a lot of the new stuff. I use, 5e rule sets, some things, 5e, minis, terrain, Twitch, VTTs, but we still harken back to the original vision of Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson with what D&D was when it started, even though we have all the cool new stuff in the tech. All right, Evelyn.
Yes.
So you finished scouring Saren Ray's altar. The wind continues to blow atop the tower. What do you do?
Yeah, she's just gonna stay a little longer in her prayer and meditation, and the cold doesn't bother her much.
Oh, it doesn't bother me.
I was trying to avoid that.
No
especially-
anachronisms.
Especially with the blonde braid, it gets so she's just gonna take the time, kind of look out over everything, and she's gonna then work her way back down the tower after probably an hour or two.
Okay.
And go towards the stables where Shadow Mist is, because she feels she needs to make up for her absence.
Am I still on the walls when I see her coming down?
Yeah, so we're going to come to that in a second. So we're going to come to Cade first. Cade, Irida has vanished into the tower. Ixen, this party just loves to split, which is fine. Ixen has moved around the tower,
We're in a safe place.
introducing himself to all the guards.
Safe space.
And we're going to come back to you.
Safe in quotes.
So what you find, Alcott, as you're introducing yourself to the guards. What's Cade doing during this?
Oh, I go to the Pickled Pirate, and I visit the good people working on it.
All right, so you walk over and you see there is, in fact, quite a bit of positive progress that's happened.
Just as I thought.
And it looks like, as I said, the outside is about done. You can see some structure. It looks like the bar is being built on the inside. Still no furniture. Still no
we're working on
libations.
that.
No libations. And you can see the decking as it moves up. They're starting to pull in huge cargo nets. And there is a
Nice.
plank.
The plank!
You can hear that as they bang on the platform atop where a plank is coming off the back of the ship.
Just as I envisioned. This is a masterpiece! And I start walking around to the people. You're working on a masterpiece, I tell ya! This is gonna live down in centuries. Centuries, I tell ya! This is gonna be the best libation station around.
Huzzah! There are many workmen around.
How
they're
many?
sweating and toiling. Just in your own purview, you can see at least 7 or 9 here on this floor.
I flip them each a gold coin.
All right, pull 9 gold out of your
Ding,
pouch.
ding, 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 get 'em!
There's a round of applause.
Huzzah!
Oh, okay, the pickle pirate. What do you mean, more libation station? I thought we were going to serve drinks here.
What do you think libations are? I'm not even a scholar, and I know that.
What? Ain't that when the woman gets caught slowly? She's in libation.
What are you doing working on me shit? Me place? I need smarter people than this. You want to be fired?
He holds up his hands.
I would never call the smartest in my family, but I could swing on a hammock or bang on nail. I am not like I can do this.
Read some books, sir. Have a drink of rum.
Pat says, Cade the Scalawag.
This poor worker walked the plank.
I might.
So the brief burst of morale with the coin seems to have subsided a bit.
Oh, have a drink of rum.
And one of the workers.
Have a drink of rum, son. You gotta get. I mean, what are you doing? Get to have a drink of rum. That's what the libation is.
Roll persuasion for me, please.
Oh man.
You have intimidated this
Oh
guy.
great.
You have a really good persuasion modifier. I think it's like plus 15.
What the heck? I'll use it.
It makes sense. He's all charisma.
I mean, it's watching.
Well, she's looking that up. You, Alcott.
There we go.
You kind of make your rounds. As you come across on this side, you see a guard there. He's got sort of ginger red hair that spills out from beneath his cap. And, oh, sorry, no, I didn't mean to actually make a reference to your hair at all, but
Alcott has red hair.
He doesn't have any hair. He burnt it all out.
Burnt off.
It's growing.
Something.
He looks over at you, and you ask his name. He tells you his name is Bresden. And he's the only one of all that you meet that actually has something that you find of interest. And he looks at you and says, well, when you're asking about the strange things, I've seen something strange. There was a man. He was clad in a black cloak, and he was wandering around outside here in the forest. Night before last. I called out to him, but by the time I did, he was gone, and no one else saw him here. None of the others, they knew or saw what he did or that he was here. It's probably nothing. They tell me it was tricks in my eyes. I don't think it was.
No. Nothing needs to go unwritten. Thank you very much for bringing this to my attention.
Oh, I didn't write it. Should I write it?
No. I am, and I'm writing all of it down.
All right.
You said night before last.
Yes.
Good. He didn't seem to come with ill intention. Wasn't carrying anything upon him that you could see. Just a man in a cloak.
Well, as I said, he was clad in dark robes, and he did not get too close. I don't take anyone in a black robe in the forest at night to be of good intentions, but I don't know for sure.
From the distance compared to the trees, could you maybe guess how large he was?
He points, and so here, let me just way over here by the dice trays. These trees here were burned in the combat. Fireballs had struck them a few sessions ago.
Wonder who did that.
They remain crisped.
My goddess is one of fire. I'm just saying.
Fire and light, yes.
He points. No, not Yaj-Tox. There's a very different accent for Yaj-Tox. Oh, you mean the one, a different world too. So he looks over. He says, "It would be tough to say, but I don't think he was much more height than I am. I'm a man, tall man, perhaps."
All right. Well, thank you. I will do a bit more investigating into this. You've got a good head on your shoulders. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir. I think.
What would be persuasion?
It's diplomacy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
diplomacy.
Oh, okay.
I believe for you that is a plus 15. If
I need that.
If I remember that
with
number.
the dice I rolled.
That sounds about right.
It should be right about that because you've leveled up several times. Your 10th level.
25.
You put plus 25.
No,
the
no,
total
no,
is 25.
25.
Roll a 10. He looks over at you. Oh, all right then. So you're saying this is a libation?
This is a
It's got
libation.
nothing to do with the.
No. I'm teaching you something, sir.
Well, then, by all means, libations. He grabs it from your
Libation.
I
hand.
can't believe we're not here for this. I'm so upset.
He guzzles it down. You actually.
No, I take it, I take it.
He's.
No, take it back to me.
Okay, you try to rip it from his hands?
Sir, stop.
All right, so make a strength check.
Oh.
He's got big,
No, wait
thick,
a minute.
big,
Let me
thick
redo this.
workman's hand.
I drew him a cup.
No, you did not. He's got big, thick workman's hands, heavily calloused,
Sure, you almost got
well sinewed. He's guzzling.
Sir! All right. Give me the libation.
He seems. It's not. You sense. It's not
You
disobedient.
can't work on me.
Hold on. It's not disobedient. This is a man who enjoys his cups, and you proffered this to him without any distinction of amount, and he is in rapture as he is drinking.
But I grab it.
He's drinking heavenly rum. It's like you've given him the elixir of life. He's not ignoring you. He doesn't hear you. He
But I grab it.
squeezes the flask. And so you got to make your strength check now, as you're trying to pull this out of his hands.
Get a hold of your senses, man!
Roll d20 for me, please.
Oh, strength.
Not your strong suit.
26? Ooh.
Or maybe it is.
Yeah, you rip it out of his hands. The flask itself, hold on,
Oh no! Can't lose another flask.
does not tear. You pull it from his hands. The rum is dribbling down his.
Get a hold of your senses, man!
Oh, the gods, if that's a libation, I wish the libation stays on every evening. May I have more of it, please? Please.
You got to work on the libation station to get libation.
Everyone else is stopped. There is no more motion happening inside the pickled pirate. And they're all looking at you.
There's more where this comes from. I've got a friend who makes this heavenly rum. If you finish and do your work like you should, there's more where this good rum comes from. Ooh, bars.
Bars. Let's go back to Irda. Irda, our viewers are probably so confused right now. We have such different things happening in each segment of
No,
this.
it's great.
We have 3 players and 3 different narratives happening.
You're gonna get a strange sensation, so she should be very concerned right now.
Oh, Lizzie, exactly right, Lizzie. It's good vibrations.
Libation creations.
Yes. All right. Irda,
Yes.
what are you doing?
I was heading towards the stables to check on Shadow Mist.
Right. As you move toward Shadow Mist, you see the other horses there in the stables. They are cringing in the corners of the stables, and there is stomping and snorting as you get close. And you see Shadow Mist tosses his mane. He does not look well. It looks like he's not been eating. And you see there is some of his flowing white mane that has fallen to the ground, like he's shedding. And when you get close, he turns and doesn't even acknowledge you.
Irda automatically finds this very, very disturbing. So she's going to move closer very carefully. Oh, villager just got smooshed.
He's gone.
And she's just going to carefully approach and kind of try to see if she can get a sense of what's going on with him, since he seems not himself.
Okay, so roll a animal handling check for me, please.
All right. Let's see, animal handling, handle. There it is. Okay.
Cast Cure Light, go from there. Thank you, Matt Chatters. Good job, one and all.
Ooh, that's a 29.
Um,
I have a 10.
Freaking
I need those dice.
right.
you instinctively know. There are old axioms which are that the more intelligent a creature is, the more needing it is of attention and time and investment. Shadow Mist is a brilliant creature, and he has been stuck here, stabled here, getting limited talented attention, has lost the one that he had a bond with, and while not yet lost, not crazy, he is deeply distraught, despondent, and he senses your presence, but he's pulling away from you in a recalcitrant sort of, like a toddler, like a really smart child that feels like their parent has done wrong to them. He pulls against the stables. You hear a bang, bang, bang as he hammers his haunches against the stables. The other horses, again, they cringe away.
Irda is going to move closer, further, and she is going to actually kneel in front of him and look toward him. I am sorry, friend, that I was gone for so long. I have done you great disservice. I know it has been difficult for you being stuck here as we teleport everywhere. If you would like, I would like to take you out and let you stretch your legs some. But I understand if you do not wish. I am sorry.
As you speak to him, you see he does begin to calm. He stops slamming himself against the stable walls. He stops hammering his hooves into the snow. But as he calms, his head lifts up. His eyes make contact with yours. And you've never heard, of course, an audible, nothing, but there you felt these emotions. You felt a sentience that has emanated from him. And you feel a wave of hatred, and you see a crude equine resemblance of Alcott's face.
Irda, seeing what she can try to understand, she takes a moment. She looks curiously at Shadow Mist and then casts Speak with Animals on herself.
You cast your spell. As you cast it, immediately you feel that channel open up between you and Shadow Mist. The majestic horse's neck lifts, his eyes lock with yours. And I don't know what a horse voice sounds like, so I'm just going to talk. I'm not going to attempt that accent. But you feel in your head, you have left me.
No. And I am sorry.
The scrawny man carries you on the wind, and you no longer need my saddle.
I will always need you, friend, but I think it is unfair of me to keep you here. You deserve to be free and to run wild, and as the attention that I can give you while we are here is not enough for you, and that is not fair. I have done you great disservice. And you have served me and been my companion for so long and so well. And if I were able to take you across the world with me, to ride free and everywhere, I would. But we are dealing with limited time and needing to be places that you cannot take me. So I think it is time that I let you go.
What?
Wow. Wow. I've already made my roll. Even as you speak, you see his equine eyes, they focus with increasing clarity, though bloodshot. It looks like he has been crying, like literal tears have been falling from his eyes. His head lifts higher and higher as you speak, as though he knows exactly what you're saying. And you hear his voice in your head. I thought your wings might make me less useful. I never thought the puny man would be your preference. And with that, there's a surge of power. Shadow Mist snaps the bonds inside the stable with ease, almost bowling you over, like not threatening you, but bursts past you. Several of the townspeople inside the fort, they pull away, and he gallops toward the entrance. The guards scramble back. The portcullis is still lowered. Shadow Mist stomps and glowers before them.
Irida will look towards the guards, and being very much raise the portcullis, let him go. He does not deserve to be trapped here.
They nod. One of them pulls on a lever. You see a counterweight fall. The portcullis raises, and Shadow Mist rears up with one last swish of his tail. He looks over at you, and Hurt does not describe it. There is an anguish, there is a betrayal that should not be possible from an animal for display. And he clatters through the portcullis and off into the forest.
And the last thing she'll just say as he's leaving, I am sorry. I just wanted to do right by you. Goodbye, my friend.
Alcott, you see this happening. You're still talking to Bresden atop the towers there, and you see Shadow Mist burst. You hear the snap. There's some chatter coming from the construction of the Pickled Pirate. You hear some voices get loud and boisterous, but it is everyone in the fort now. Their eyes are turned toward Irda as Shadow Mist sprints past her as the portcullis is raised, and Shadow Mist clatters through the gateway into Fort Rannoch, Fort Von Frost, and disappears into the forest.
And I can visibly tell that Irda is quite saddened by this.
I mean, it was loud when he snapped the reins. Like he was like you watched all of this happen from atop the.
I'll notice all the guards kind of turn their attention and everybody, and I'll just shout, "Back to your work! Nothing to see here." And I'll walk down these nearby steps over to Irda.
Do I hear any of this?
I'm gonna say no. You're on the opposite side. You're way over here in the construction of the Pickled Pirate, which this will be a thing. No, because you're inside here, so you're talking about libations versus impregnations and all the discussion that was happening there. As this happens, Irda, you see Alcott come walking down from the top of the wall towards you.
One of the guards informed us that Shadow Mist had been looking a bit upset. I think I can piece together what happened. I'm very sorry.
That's the right thing to do.
He seemed very intelligent.
My friend, he made sure I was safe for a very long time. But I could not leave him here. Could not leave him to the fate of being stuck in this stable as we try to do the things that we do, and it's taking us everywhere, and I can't take him with me.
We, as you know, had horses at our house. You're right, a horse should never be tied up. He was safe here, but
Safe is not. Safe is not a fate for him. He's a fighter, and he's brave, and he has a very strong spirit and safe.
a ship in port. All that. If there's anything you need, let me know. I'm going to, one of the guards, actually. I've been going around. Realized I don't know anyone here. These are all people from Turtleback Ferry and from the fort themselves, and never met any of them. Just sort of got grandfathered into this little group of yours.
That's
And,
true. We sort of,
you know, I thought if we're going to keep losing people, I'd like to at least know their names. So,
Okay.
sorry, that was really dark of me, but I'm kind of in that place right now, and
yeah.
they all seem very nice. I'd like to be able to call them by their names.
Yes, of course.
One of them, Bresden, kind of point up there in motion a little bit, is good man. Noticed something the other night. A man, cloaked man, walking in the woods. Attempted to call out to him and couldn't make contact, and he left.
The other nights being.
The night before last. So last night, we were at my parents' house.
Right, and
The night before that would have been the night as we were leaving the fort. left that morning. Go to Sandpoint. We just happened to not talk to Breslin, and I guess that he had not brought it up to anyone. He said none of the other guards believed.
Yes.
I convinced him that it probably wasn't a trick of his eyes.
He said he was a cult man.
Cloaked, couldn't make out anything other than he was about my height. Human height.
To be clear, Breslin actually referred to his own height.
His own height, yes.
Because he's a little taller than you, but yeah.
He's
Still
taller
somebody.
than me?
Yeah, he's a little taller than you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interfere
Very
with
tall
you.
guys around
Yeah, I
here.
like that.
Well, like, Alcott is a pretty tall dude just
Yeah.
because I'm not, and I want to live that. So, a taller individual. And I'm not going to let anything like that just go to the wayside. So
Oh, a cloaked individual.
I had the rather unsafe thought of
Ixon?
perhaps. Gurgs had mentioned that he had close relations with a member of this fort
Right.
before it had fallen.
Yes. That would.
Perhaps an old survivor who had left, or someone out in the woods with good or bad intentions.
Possibly.
I just wanted to let you know that tonight I plan on sleeping outside the fort in my cottage.
Alright.
Perhaps a meeting ground for them, and a safe place for me.
Okay, so Cade, you've now had your time to encourage the people inside the construction. You walk out, you see the sun is growing lower in the sky.
I look in the sky for a hawk.
You look in the sky for a hawk. You see no hawk, but you do notice Shadow Mist is no longer in his stable, and you see Irda and Alcott on the opposite side of the courtyard talking.
Huzzah! Irda, Alcott. Well, where is the horse?
We had a bit of a parting of ways
Ah! Why?
because I was not treating him.
You could have given them to me.
And it would still be the same problem, Cade. Plus, you don't need a. Never mind, I shouldn't say that.
Have you ever ridden a horse before?
I can learn.
Like, no, I mean like ridden a horse.
I can learn.
Cade, what about your ship?
A horse on a ship.
What about your ship?
Harley, Sully, your whole ship. We have not checked on them in weeks now.
Not a fault of my own.
Why do you think Shadow Mist left?
Because
We've been
He's an animal.
We've been
he
trying
was
to
more
save
than
the world.
an animal.
Then why didn't you keep him?
Because
Just let him do his own. Oh, Ixon's probably gonna kill him. He's gonna crouch through the forest and just slice his throat. You left him. He ran out. Now he's unprotected. He's a good horse.
yes, he is a very good horse, and he's a very smart horse. He's not like a regular.
What's he gonna do out there?
He will survive.
Hey, I could have used a good horse.
You have a horse. It's right over there, and she points at
Not
the
as
other
pretty
horses.
as yours.
Kate, how about
I
we
didn't mean that.
go? We have bigger concerns, and we still should find out about the state of your ship, which should be your greatest concern. Right?
I would like to know that too. We've been a little busy fighting evil people.
Yes, and that's why Shadow Mist also was not getting the well-deserved attention he needed, because we were fighting evil people teleporting everywhere.
I appreciate all of this conversation.
And I've asked him to teleport there, but he says, oh, we might get lost in the ocean. So I can't teleport
or
there.
at the bottom of a deep chasm, in a pool of lava. I mean,
Anything. So it's not like it hasn't been on my mind. But I know Sully. He'll take good care of my ship.
it doesn't seem like you understand the possible side effects of what could go wrong if we do that incorrectly. It just seems like you doubt my abilities.
I don't doubt your abilities, but you did say we could land in the ocean or in a pool of lava.
That's not my own personal choice. It's just how it works.
I get that.
Yes.
So my choice is to live.
And I appreciate all of this. And trust me, I do not miss the irony of what I'm about to say, but my family will be dead in 2 weeks. So we don't really have time for other friends in the moment, and I'm very
Yes.
sorry about that. I understand your horse has just left.
Well, we
because
could
of
have
that
used a
very
horse to... Oh, are we using your flighty thing?
reason. Very likely. It's the
Okay.
best form of movement to get long distances. Sandpoint is a good distance away. Other than that, we also have a promise to keep, you and I, Cade. And
Remind me.
I poke you very hard in your nice left arm.
That is now back.
What's with that fur?
We have a shield to grab in Magnamar.
Oh man, we just have so many duties.
That's so many plot threads, so many.
However,
You know what? I would just like to get the pickled pirate finished and raise my flag and walk somebody on a stinking plank.
Probably not the most critical plot path in
I will say this. We have learned recently that my father had ties with whatever was going on as it relates to this shield. It could mean that grabbing this shield could lead us into a possible windfall of money to secure my family's survival,
Did you say money, sir?
or another way of protecting them.
Small detail from what I remember you saying to me, but getting a shield is in payment for
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
So how would it?
Could be other things down there. Could be connections to the Brothers Seven. Any number of things that my mind could connect.
I look up in the sky again.
How much money do you need for your family?
You still do not see the hawk.
Caw! Caw!
Okay. And like on cue, Jester, and thank you so much for being here with us for Blue Box Con, mentioned how much he loves how Cade gets into the role play. Well done, Cade.
All right, I also had a thought come into my mind. I would like to go up to the altar.
All right. So
2 minutes further past.
before
Just draw me out.
before I allow that,
Oh no!
no, I just
She would
want to make
love more
sure
opportunities.
this is not metagaming because you don't know what she saw, you don't know about the conversation.
Oh no, it's nothing about that.
Oh, okay.
I had something else I was going to
Okay,
do.
all right. So you abruptly turn face and move into the tower to head up.
And plus, it's higher. I'm gonna try and spy. So I've got two things going on.
Okay. Irda and Alcott, you see suddenly Cade's head tilt up. You can almost hear the ping in his head. And without
pops,
without further ado, he strides purposefully toward the tower and vanishes in the doors.
All right. I guess he was done. It didn't feel like we were at an ending point in the class.
I was done with you.
The sun sinks.
moment.
The sun sinks a bit lower in the sky.
Kate seemed particularly judgmental today about a lot of things. I don't know what's gotten into him, but
I think he's a little bit excited that the bar has come along as far as it has.
but
He shows
yes.
that weirdly.
Your family, how much money did you need to gather for
yes.
them?
Gods, don't remind me. 150,000 gold pieces.
I'm sorry, you said 150,000?
Last time I counted. How much is on you?
I remember I have about 200 gold. And that's it.
Well, then we're partway there.
Drop in the bucket.
Idiot father.
He get himself in so much debt.
Gambling. We had the winery. Why did he need more?
Some things are of our vices are more than we can control.
He got in with the wrong crowd, apparently, and the Brothers Seven got involved. That would be an interesting connection to learn.
Yes, it's very curious. Everybody seems to be connected to his brothers somehow.
So no, please
No, you're
continue.
good.
I don't want to interrupt the role play here. I'm prepping this for later, so you keep on. Yeah, I know it's a little distracting.
My hope is that going back to Magnamar will get us closer to where he was picked up, learn some things about that, and this connection to the Golem works, and what's going on there with the shield.
Right. That all makes sense to me.
Seems like our current best bet, and of course, I do not want an extremely powerful cleric of a god to be upset with us, because we haven't paid him back yet.
Yes.
And perhaps we could curry some favor with them
Yes.
in the way of possibly helping out 2 innocent women not perish. My mother and sister.
I'm sorry for that.
If that's all right with you. How much time would you like to spend here before we head out?
I would just like to have a nice night's rest and perhaps see if I can go about making sure my brother's in a little better shape. I would like to get him back to my family as soon as possible, but
Completely understand.
not now. I think he will need time.
Do you know where your family is located?
Well, they should still be on the farm. My mother and father and my other siblings.
I mean, geographically, where is that?
It's kind of a very small place in the middle of nowhere.
I'm just
think
saying, I have the ability to
it's-
transport
right.
across the planet.
It's not anywhere near Sandland
Okay.
or Magnemar, so I don't know that you would know it
All
well
right.
enough to get us there.
Then, perhaps a couple days,
Yes.
at least to get him back on his feet.
And the people here are friendly, and he could be of help. I
Oh, he could
imagine.
easily be of help.
So
Especially based on what he was saying. He, not of his own will, but seems to have some experience with physical labor. We certainly need plenty of that here.
if nothing else, if he can get back to himself, might be of good aid to these people. And
Yes.
so it is a long road for him,
Of course.
and
He went through a lot.
I want to make sure that he is ready to see my family again.
Of course.
So for now, I would like to give him time to recuperate, but he will understand our need to go and help.
Sean, how many days did she say that my freaking horse's head showed up 3 days?
Yes.
It had been
We
had
showed up
11
3 days after?
Yes,
Right,
so he had
exactly.
11 days left on the clock.
So now it's 10.
Correct.
yes.
Correct. Now it's 10. It's been 3.
Let's call it 2 more days
Alright.
after tonight.
And by the way, so we have some newer viewers. They may not know what you're saying. What you
Yes. So, like I had mentioned earlier when we were kind of talking about the timeline of what Bresden had seen, yesterday night we were at my parents' house, the Devereaux Manor, in kind of north of the town of Sandpoint, which is they are the one of the founding families of. So we were there and we learned of kind of these events that were going on where the Brothers Seven have basically threatened to burn down the manor and kill everyone in the Devereaux family for the amount of money that they owe due to my father, Edwin, owing 150,000 gold to them. Yikes. The day before that, we actually is when Eamon talked to the guard about the hawk that he had launched, and we left that morning. And so it's kind of been about a 2-day period since the last
Whole
time we
little-
were here.
Little giant attack on
Yeah, and we
Sandpoint.
helped. We assisted with
Some
a
giants.
giant attack, and
There's
then
a red dragon, and there's some
a lich fight,
All in the
and
past 2 days.
it's been a heck of a 48-hour period. We are where we are, and so that's kind of what the timeline looks like right now. So 2 more days. On the 3rd morning, why don't we head to Magnemar?
Alright.
I guess I'm going to go find Cade and let him know that as well. And then, like I said, tonight I will be sleeping out in the woods.
Right.
Just so that you're aware.
Well done, bravo. Really good role play there. And Biggie Paw, thank you for the follow. Sometimes I can't put thanks in the chat for new followers. I don't know why it doesn't come up when I do the @ Kate, you come to the top of the tower.
Wait.
Mhm.
Hold on. Medium. While I'm walking up, I'm singing a little song. Rum, 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 rum is the drink of love. Rum, 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 I drink it till it's gone. Rum. And so I sing that all the way up the steps.
As you're singing it up. You have a very different response than Irda had. While with her, Irda, there was almost an adoration. There was a lot of bowing and scraping. With you, there's a lot of backslapping and congratulatory stuff, and several people that put their hands out.
I throw them copper.
Meeting the expectation. Cade throws coin wherever he goes. So you provide it to them, and as you go up singing your song, you hear several others that. Rum, 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 rum.
It's the drink I love. Rum, 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 rum. I drink it till it's gone.
You need to take some levels in bards.
I've been telling
Serious. I'm serious.
You by the time you reach the top of the tower, there are several people below singing this catchy little tune that you have crafted.
Magic though.
And it might have been lubed up a bit by the amount of coin that you were throwing as well, but whatever it is, it works. You reach the top of the tower, you see the twin moons beginning to come over the horizon, casting pale luminescence over the top of the tower, and you notice, wait a minute, two things click in your mind at the same time.
Oh, two.
That's surprising.
Bonus!
I've never had that
Let me clip that real quick here. Yes, it is possible to have two thoughts. Bonus thoughts for Kate. The first is you see steam rising from the altar of Sarenrae. Right as the smell of urine catches your nostrils.
Urine!
The second thought
Oh dear.
is
This is not
there
good.
was a small boy that had burst past you coming down the stairs, singing your song as he went past.
I'll deal with him later.
Ominous.
All right. You emerge atop the tower.
Hold that
The
thought.
smell and steam of fresh urine around the altar of Sarenrae. And I'm sorry, Evelyn. It's what happens. All right. Nothing personal.
It's funny. She's raging in chat.
I'm not surprised.
All right, I look in the horizon for a hawk. I raise my hand. Gah! Come here, hawk. Okay. And so then I'm like, okay. Sarenrae. Now, I don't know what I'm doing. But I did call out to you in a time of need, and you answered. I think you hear me. I think. I'm not sure. So I wanted to give my thanks. And I don't know who desecrated your altar. Desecrated? Defecated? I don't know. I think it's one of those words.
Second time that
Second
joke
time.
was made today. Different people.
I was gonna do this anyway. This is my offering to you, and I pour out a little bit of rum on the altar. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that, but I figure it's some sort of sacrifice made. Sacrificing me best rum.
Gotta be getting low on that rum, right?
You can make more.
Poured out a lot of it.
I have another bag of it, flask of it, of course.
Finish that one.
What, I did?
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like a-
crap.
like a-
Well, then I'm
custom-
very low.
Makes it more of a sacrifice, right?
That's
Exactly,
more of a
exactly.
sacrifice. This is a deep sacrifice.
Not that he just pointed out that it's infinite and can be made with magic.
No.
It's a sacrifice for sure.
I get on my knees. Sarenrae, I'm begging of you. I really want this hawk. And I really need a perchy fella. I need something to get put on my shoulder. And that will fly back to me. I don't know. But if you could give it to me,
And
that
even
would
as you
be
say
great.
this, the images of Ray and Parley flash through your mind.
Parlay's for the ship. Right.
No,
I didn't
sorry.
know if he was gonna turn on me. I really didn't. I didn't trust that fella. I think he was part Ixen, partly liked me. I never knew what he was going for. He's a little bit odd looking too. He scared me. He really did kind of scare. So Sarah and me, I'm asking you. That hawk is a nice looking hawk. It'd make me look a little better. So I'm asking you. If you hear me, hold up my hand.
Okay, so to be clear, you have
No hawk.
walked past the steaming urine.
Yep.
And you have poured rum on the altar of Saren
As a sacrifice.
as a sacrifice,
Sure.
born from a selfish desire
Oh.
for a magical hawk.
Probably one of the best prayers ever uttered.
Okay, so Blue Box family, Mad Chatters, this is where the DM says we're done for the night. Because he needs to really think about what's going to happen after this.
The consequences of his actions.
I'm not going to pretend like I had this in my back pocket for what was going to
I
happen
didn't
tonight.
tell him, as you can see.
So this is where we'll stop tonight. Thank you so much for all the great chat. Love all of you. John's impending divorce. Oh, is that going to show up in the Mad Chat art? Hey, Terry, good to see you. By the way, also, so tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We will not see the Children of Dirt. I don't believe. Josh mentioned he's in his move, so COD will not be on tomorrow night. But Terry will be on, and Evelyn, since you're part of that cast as well, I don't know, you're part of every cast now. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, so we are picking up with a Pathfinder 2nd edition module. We are playing a group that has joined a circus, and this will actually be our first session. I am playing a sorcerer. Managed to spend lots of fun, and so we have a great group that actually is made up of other Mad Chatters. In fact, we have Ali B, who we all have probably seen in chat, as well as Nihilist, who has been in chat a few times. But yes, so we have an orc and 3 half-elves in the circus, and we're doing Pathfinder 2, or 2nd edition, which is it's very interesting. It's very different from 1st edition Pathfinder, and it's really cool, and we're really excited about it. So we will be live tomorrow night, 9 Central, 10 Eastern time on Machik's channel. That's Machik ED. Here on
Which is educational, not erectile dysfunction. It does. I'm tired of that nasty rumor keeps going around. Stop that.
And yeah, so we'll be going live with our and this is a module that is part of it, and it actually goes from level 1 up to level 20, so it should be interesting. Hopefully we'll all survive.
What a fun module idea
Yeah.
for a circus thing. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, so we're really excited, and so come join us if y'all are around.
I also don't know anything about what's different from 1st edition to 2nd edition Pathfinder.
A
so
lot.
that would be fun.
A
A lot. Yeah, it was reconstructed in much the same way 5e was
I was
from
gonna say, I think it's pretty
3.5.
similar to
Yeah, well, they came out almost the same time, so they were
There's
very
similarities,
close.
but
There's a lot of differences too, but ultimately,
Oh, yeah.
you know here, I don't care about
Yep.
Yeah.
additions.
It's a
It's about the
role-playing system.
role-playing game and the fun and the combat and all that. But I do like a lot of stuff they have in PF2E, just like a lot of stuff that's in 5e. So check out Terry, Machik ED, and their new Wayward
The Circus of the Wayward Wanderers.
Wanderer,
That's
Circus of the
fun.
Wayward One. In no way connected to the Wayward Bolt. Utterly coincidental. No, actually, Terry's a big part of our community, and he's been such an encouragement to me. So please check them out, follow them, and watch what they have. All right, now let's go to 2 things: our giveaway and our stream MVP. I've got the Pat Draws artwork here. We really need you, Cade. Please give this to us in your Cade accent.
Only the best scalawags be in me employed.
Thank you for correcting the mic. Yeah, much better, yes.
Well, I mean, as he starts to learn, it'll shift. to
And
mine.
my employment.
Someone mentioned you were correcting someone, you were teaching them earlier, then you had 2 thoughts at once. Next, you're going to be a wizard.
All right, So thank you. We're sorry we had, yes, we appreciate all the comments. They not our best stream, and I don't mean that from the role player standpoint. The role players were great.
No, you're right.
We just had tech issues. We were late getting started. We're still not running on one of our cameras. A lot was not prepped. This is still, I'm going to call it the afterglow of BlueBoxCon and the birthday celebration. Also, I want to say something to all of you that were not able to be there this year.
How dare you?
You read my mind! No.
We do not chastise. We welcome with open arms.
Exactly. But I do feel like, even I've seen it in Discord, I think there's some in the community that maybe felt a bit left out if you couldn't come, and I do not want you to feel that way. And I'm not threatening you with this sword.
I was gonna say.
He pulled it out when he
Look, we're going to do it again next year, and we would love to have everyone come that can
But that's
come.
why we tried to live stream all day.
We live stream,
It was a 13-hour live stream.
It was
we did.
11
13-hour live
hours.
stream,
11
11 hour, whatever, yeah, a lot. And then
we had to break it up into parts.
Yeah.
It was 11 hours.
Okay, she would know.
True.
And then next year we're going to do more fun stuff. It's going to be big. I had so many ideas because we threw BlueBoxCon together in like a 3-4 week period of time. It was really out of nowhere. We now have our own website, BlueBox.com. Thank you, Honeybee, Danny, who worked at BlueBoxRPG.com. I knew that. Thank you, Danny.
Keeping us on
And Gimbal.
Exactly. And
Sorry.
again, as we've established multiple times, not associated with Doctor Who, even though we love Time Lord's wife, Kayla, who is always associated with Doctor Who, as is our own Evelyn. So next year it'll be a lot of fun. But I don't want anyone, like I know some people that were super active in chat, they couldn't come to the con, and I've seen you a little bit less active, and I don't want you to feel like in any way you are not every bit as much a part of this community. If you have watched a few minutes of this, if you have popped not even bits, not subs, if you've just popped a fun chat in the stream, if you've been in our Discord, you are part of this community. We love you, we value you, and we want you to continue to be part of our community. And I promise you, it's only going to get better from here. We have some amazing charity stuff. We have the virtual Greyhawk Con. We've got a new player starting, and some of these stories are just really hitting their apex point. There's a lot of really fun storytelling and great role play that's going to be happening here in the upcoming week. So that's just my quick commercial to say thank you to everybody that's part of the Mad Chatter community, all of our new followers today. Thank you so much. You guys make this fun. Yes, King Kung Fu Grasshopper. I actually referenced Kwai Chang Kane in a work-based text chat last week. Now just let that sink in, because it's true what I just said, but it might not make sense, but I did. Kwai Chang Kane, Kung Fu Grasshopper. When you can take the pebble from my hand, it will be time for you to stream. And so we have had a really, really good time today. So we're going to go through each of our players is up for a Stream MVP nomination. That gets them 2,000 experience points. Experience points are more mythical here than the Tarrasque.
I was promised XP before this session.
There have been more Tarrasques and Tiamats seen on this stream than experience points.
Which is actually true. If you watch the one shot that I ran, there's a little Tarrasque guy in there.
There's just whispers of XP existing.
It's a mythical beast, which will appear here. But no, we will do that. And also, they get 2,000 if they're Stream MVP. And then you just have to type !OG in the chat to have a chance to win. And we'll have an old school dice roll off.
Yep.
This amazing Mike Disney Overgourd print and a Mike Disney pin.
It's more like a guideline.
More of a guideline.
I'm more of a guideline, yes. I'm still saving the dice from GaryCon. I will give these Luke Gygax gifted GaryCon dice from these folks at Dice Fanatics, Montkillian Summer, and that will include their pin and their very mysterious mini ruler, dice ruler, whatever this thing
Somebody
is.
said it might be a ruler for like measuring between different sizes of minis.
Yeah, I mean, which again, he said that too. It kind of makes sense, except this is from a dice company,
Yeah.
so I'm guessing it's dice based, but I don't know. I'll ask them, and maybe I'll have that answer for you on Tuesday night. And then we will also be giving away on Tuesday on our GHA session one of these scarns from our sponsor of the week, Mike Disney, a custom painted Mike Disney mini will be given away on Tuesday night. So lots of fun stuff happening. All right, we're going to do it like we did on GHA last week. We're going to have, we've got 3 of you.
Yes.
So what we'll do is, Cade, you're going to tell me why Irda should be stream MVP. Irda, you're going to tell me why Thomas should be stream MVP, or Alcott.
I'm in the narrative.
Just
Yeah. And I'm going to tell everybody why Cade should be stream MVP.
Oh, I don't get to talk.
He doesn't get to talk?
Well, I didn't want to do.
What?
he would only do
And
one.
I would tell why Cade. We just do it in a circle.
No, but I don't trust you to do a good job with that. I think.
No, I'll just.
I'm
Bye.
Yes, absolutely. You can. All right, so let's start off. Tell us why.
Huzzah! Well,
No, you have to
I
remember.
don't have my dice.
Theater me. Irda. She should be stream MVP. You know why? Because she should.
Zero. That's why.
And she always has good roleplay, and she roleplayed with her horse. What's his name again?
Yeah, it's only been over a year.
Sorry!
The
Best
name was-
person.
I'm like, Shadow Mist. A little shocking that she let him go. And she had good roleplay and cast animal speak and talked to her horse and was very emotional in the whole scene. And then she let him go, which made me sad.
Made me sad too.
Made her sad too. She was crying. She
I
does
felt
very
that.
good roleplay. And she spoke with Alcott. What else happened? Oh! She also prayed to Saren Ray. She cleaned the altar, not using Presti. She used good old elbow grease and cleaned it. Worked hard to clean off children's markings and defamation of the altar. And she prayed to Saren Ray. I think. What else? Am I forgetting?
Tybeth.
Oh! And
At the
Tybeth.
beginning.
Yes.
That's easy.
And she.
A lot happened since then.
Yeah, no. But a long session. And she had a conversation with Tybeth and then put him to bed to sleep.
Well said. Well done. All right, so you'll have a chance to vote for Irda in just a moment.
Oh,
The
vote
stream
for
poll
Irda. Votes for Irda.
will go up once all of the players have gone. Irda, why should
Okay.
Alcott be MVP?
Do we want to
Well-
see who Irda got to roll for before we?
Because we only have 3. Let's go ahead and do each of these, and
Great.
I'll give them to you afterwards.
Great.
Alright, so Alcott should be stream MVP because of his banter with Cade and their initial humorous interactions that took place as they were going to check in with the guard who had been there when Eamon had first let the hawk go, particularly with the very first guard who was very much eager to be ready to be inspected.
Yes.
And
Recognized.
Alcott's taking notes on each of these people, wanting to learn their names, and not just the guards, but also getting good information from the various guards. about
Lisi had the great comment and the notepad of doom.
Yes. Taking his notes, your name. But yeah, so going around and kind of learning a little bit more about each of these guards, and actually having made a specific goal for himself to meet the people of Fort Von Frost, formerly Fort Rennick, formerly the citizens of Turtleback Ferry, and actually going through and making that a necessary thing. Staying on task as much as he possibly can about what needs to happen next to help his family, to help repay the deal that they made with the cleric that returned Cade's arm to him, and just being, our best little wizard pal. That's why Alcott should be stream MVP.
All right. I really want you to do a player with that accent. All right. Alcott, why should Cade be stream MVP?
Cade should be stream MVP because he's Cade.
That's why.
Well, Cade is great. Cade started out super elated to see how far the pickled pirate had come along. Took a little pause before excitedly running in and came with Alcott to ask about the hawk. mostly out of his own selfish wants for the hawk. But hey, and then ended up going back down, talking with the people in the pickled pirate, and that was a very good interaction. That was just hilarious. Learned the difference between libations and apparently pregnancy.
Impregnation, yes.
Interesting. And then sang a little tune that got the people in the fort going.
Yep.
And then, poured some rum on some urine. And
What session is not complete with a little rum on urine?
prayed to a god that you don't believe in. And got no response.
Well, no. That is not been determined yet. I think there's a really good chance of a lot of lightning hitting this fort.
Oh, no. And that's it. That's all we got.
Okay. All right. Stream MVP is up now for your vote, and we're going to go around. So here, first of all, we do this old school giveaway. So for the Mike Disney Overboard print and the Mike Disney pin. It's the first giveaway we've done in weeks here, by the way. I didn't do one last week at all. So you're going to have a chance to win. So if you see your name pop up in the Discord or the Twitch chat, don't assume you've already won. There are going to be 3 possible winners. They will be rolled for by each of these players. So Irda, you will be rolling for...
Ranger Harley.
Ranger Harley!
And he chatted
right after that.
All right, and so
Yowza!
he is a follower, not a sub, so it's a single guy.
He's a follower, not a sub, which is fine.
Vote for K,
Yeah, so
y'all.
all that means is he gets a single D20, but he is still
Or even.
in
I got the sparkle die.
all right. And next is going to be Alcott. You're rolling for Scott, Obsidian Risk. He's been super active in chat. Also a great friend, Obsidian Risk. You posted that really fun thing in Discord this morning, which was encouraging to me. You don't know how encouraging it was. Thank you so much, my friend. I think we are going to continue to grow and get better. This was in no way today exemplar of the best we have, but it was still a lot of fun, and it's only going to get
Makes
better.
me not feel good.
No, it's because she knows. I talked with her a lot this morning. We had so many tech issues. We started 30 minutes late. With those tech issues, had less prep time for the DM, but I still thought you guys did a great job, and it was fun. So all I just want people to know is we normally start on time, and we'll normally have better tech prep and better cameras and all that kind of stuff. And Ranger is a sub now. Thank you. So he gets 2 dice. All right. So you have Scott, you
There's
have
Obsidian, there you
Ranger,
are.
Obsidian, and then Cade. You have Jester.
Oh! Is that Kristen?
No.
That's Sean.
Sean.
Oh, Sean. Oh.
He was the guy that was dressed up kind of
Oh,
like
yeah. Okay.
at
He was
our
a
con.
musketeer.
Yeah,
That's right.
And he, go ahead.
I have to interrupt because Pat gave us the answer. For those subscribed to the Dice Fanatics Dice Collectors app, you're entitled to receive a free dice photography ruler. Called it when you register for the free app. So it's literally just a ruler that you put to take
For
nice
dice
photos
photography.
of your dice.
But I think actually, to your point, that could be used for mini
It could
photography
be used for
too.
minis as
Yes. So this will be part of our
I
giveaway
was like, it's got to
on
be a photography thing because it's
Tuesday
useless
night.
otherwise. Like
yeah,
a 1 inch by 1 inch
it's so
ruler.
small. Yeah, it made sense to me. All right, and so we have all 3. Go ahead and start
Jester
the
was
rolls
awesome
here.
in chat.
All right, I am rolling for Ranger Harley. Here we go. That's a 19.
Oh gosh,
On the
and a
cozy-
17.
On the Cozy Gamer die.
Very strong roll. Okay.
And I'm rolling for Obsidian.
Obsidian
Obsidian is not a sub.
Are you sure?
I don't see a dragon
Okay.
next to the face.
All right. Nope,
So
not.
Obsidian, you are getting my Tiger's Eye dice. Here's the nat 20. A 14.
A 14.
Good competition.
Very close.
And
Very close.
Right next to a nat 20.
All right, and now we go to Cade.
Golly. Show those.
And there's
Jester. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, STW, yeah, they're just
All right.
Yeah, he's got it.
Here we go.
Red Dragon.
Oh, 17.
Close.
Sorry. And a 5.
That's Ranger Harley.
Congratulations, Ranger. You are the winner of the Mike Disney print. And don't leave us. You still have time to vote. No, it's
And congratulations
done.
to Kate.
Kate!
Huzzah!
MVP, well done. And we're going to go ahead and do a raid. And
Thank
let's
you, me
see,
good fellows.
who should we raid? Is Jay streaming later tonight? Because I know he had 3 streams this weekend. He had 2 yesterday. I think Jay, Lord Gazumba, is streaming later tonight. I might be wrong. Somebody pop that in the chat if you know, because I want to make sure we shout that out.
Okay, so
I've had a crazy weekend. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for all of the artwork. We're doing a big giveaway for you again on Tuesday night. Yeah, he's on later tonight. I thought so, Greg. So everybody, I'm going to raid into... is Fabled 42 live or is that rerun? Can you double check that before I'll raid them? Because I know they were doing a charity stream this weekend as well. But then make sure you're watching Jay's channel and that you can be on. Yes, okay, I thought so.
they are live, yeah.
Yeah, they are live. All right, good. Hey, thank you so much, everybody. Thanks to our Mad Chatters. Great time today. We appreciate all of you. We're going to raid Fabled 42. And, oh, it looks like Chris is doing some building in something.
He's playing Ark Survival Evolved. It's a video game.
Oh. Okay, well, hang on then.
Which is one of my wife's
I'm not going
favorite
to raid
games.
that, and that's no shade on Chris, not at all. But we'd just like to raid D&D streams, not video games or other streams. So please don't anyone take that the wrong way. But Not Great RPG looks like they're playing, so we're going to raid Not Great RPG, so you can get some more D&D goodness. And yes, thank you, Greg. We appreciate that. Even with the tech issues, we thought it was a lot of fun today, and you guys made a big difference. So congrats on your 2,000 experience points. We'll be right back here, 5 o'clock on Tuesday, Central Time. We are going to be live again on Wednesday, 5:30 or so, 6. I'll announce the time soon for Lore Masters Arcanum. And then we'll be right back here next week with our new player, Chandler. It is going to be so much fun and so many story threads. So thank you, everybody. Before we go, one last time, if you're watching today and you haven't followed, or if you're a follower and you have not subbed, or if you're a sub and your sub has expired, and we have quite a few of those, we have one question for you. What are you doing? We love you here at Blue Box. Give us some love back and follow all the great streams that are in D&D Twitch land. We appreciate you, Mad Chatters. And raiding now. Boom.
Bam.
Raid kicked off, and...
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like,
Oh,
he's not
let's
playing
go.